Hello, I'm Katja Brotmann. I'm a teaching fellow in the new and exciting Bachelor Neuroscience and Psychology program. And I will be responsible for some modules, for instance, for psychology. But today, me and my colleague Andrew will show you how we do an EEG experiment. So please follow me.
Hello, I'm Andrew Messo. I'm one of the lecturers on the BSc in Neuroscience and Psychology. My emphasis will be on statistics and research methods, but today I'm here to be a participant for the task that will be done by my colleague Katja.
This is our EEG lab. In here, we are doing our experiments and we're recording brain activity via our EEG cap with the electrodes. Our participants are sitting over there on the computer and they are performing different experiments, auditory or visual experiments. And then we can record the brain activity and visualize it over here on the screen. Andrew already signed informed consent that he wants to take part in our study and that he is aware of all the regulations. Before we start with the EEG, I'd like to ask Andrew a few questions which apply to our study. So, Andrew, did you drink in the last 24 hours alcohol?
No.
Did you take in the last 24 hours any medication?
No, none at all.
Did you smoke in the last 2 hours?
No.
When did you smoke your last cigarette? Approximately
15 years ago.
Okay. Did you take any drinks with caffeine today?
Yes, a coffee in the morning.
When did you take the last drink with caffeine?
7 in the morning.
These questions are important because caffeine and medication can have an effect of brain activity. So we have to control for these parameters. Now I'd like you to fill another form. We want to know more about your mood. We want to know if Andrew is more happy or sad, excited or calm. Please, can you fill it for me?
Mm-hmm.
Before I can set up the cap, I need to prepare his skin, because skin in general produces a lot of grease to protect itself, which will increase the impedance, and then we cannot get a clear signal from our electrodes. Now I can set up the cap. Thank you. Each head is a little bit different, so we need to position the cap as accurately as possible. The electrodes are just now sitting on the hair. We need to connect the electrode with the skin. For that reason, we are using EEG gel, which contains normally something, a little bit of salt or some abrasive element to prepare the skin underneath the hair. When we are filling the EEG gel into the electrodes, we still do not have a good connection between skin and electrode. So then you see on the screen that the electrodes are still wet, which means the impedance is high. When I go now with my stick into an electrode and I'm moving it around, I will move around the hair and create a bridge between skin and electrode. The impedance gets low. This on the screen it will turn first orange, then it goes to greenish, and in the end to blue, and this is where we want the electrode to be. Because the impedance is very low, we get a clear signal and we can start the recording. So now, Andrew, try to calm down as much as possible. Relax all your muscles in the face and at the head, because then we can get a really clear signal, as you can see. Would you mind to blink for me? Oh, there we go. Blink again. Okay. Do you see, even these tiny muscle contractions as blinking would distort our EEG signal. So please do not blink that often during the experiment. Can you please chew for me? Oh, here we go. Do you see that? When you are chewing, you are moving the whole cap because of the muscles. So please do not chew through the experiments. Can you please swallow for me? There again. You're human. You are allowed to swallow, but please do not do it that often. Can you please look to the left and to the right, just with the eyes? Exactly. Do you see that? These are artifacts when you do not look to the middle of the screen. During the experiment, we will show you a fixation course, and you should look exactly to the middle, okay? Perfect. And can you move your head a little bit for me? Just a little bit. You see? The signal is getting a little bit noisy again. So really try to calm down and relax. Perfect. Now we are starting with our experiment, and we already know how to perform the task. It's a learning experiment. He is seeing different houses and he has to find out if a house belongs to a group A or group B. For that he has two different buttons. One is labeled with A and the other one with B. Every time when he assigns a house to a group, he will get feedback. When he's correct, he will see a £1 coin, and if he's not correct, he will see a no cash coin. As you can see, it's not that easy. You cannot group the houses by differences or because they look similar. Each time the pictures are randomly assigned to a group, so the participants really need to learn each of the images on each of the houses. Andrew is now performing the auditory oddball task, and we can see here the EEG recording. So now I can always check if we hear the sounds, but also if our participant is performing correctly, or if he is falling asleep, or if he is moving too much. But you can see that our participant is very calm right now. Andrew is now performing a resting state. In a resting state, we are not recording any behavior. He just needs to sit there and relax and try to be as calm as possible. But as you can see, our brain is never really at rest. We have brain activity throughout the time. Usually in an EEG experiment, we are recording brain activity but also behavior, because we are interested if we have a different kind of brain activity when we are performing a task, for instance, in an auditory task, or also in the visual learning experiment you could see prior to the resting state. In the end, we can then combine EEG, behavior, or even the questionnaires we are applying before the experiments. Thank you so much, Andrew. We are done. So you did several experiments, the auditory one, the visual one, and even the resting state. And I guess now you want me to remove the cap as quick as possible, and then you can wash your hair. Great. Okay, let's go to the washing room. This was the EEG experiment. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you got as excited as we are about our research at the BSc Neuroscience and Psychology. Goodbye!